Jungkook POV colon dot dot. I didn't even know why I was sitting there. Correction dot dot dot. I knew exactly why, Ricky. The moment I saw him standing in the shop, shirt off, arms up while dot wine worked on him. Something in my chest locked up tight. His hand was holding her shirt, holding her damn shirt. And why end dot dot. She was laughing. I sat there, slouched in the corner chair, arms folded, pretending to scroll through my phone while really I was just watching them a little dot too hard. It's not your first. And said focused as she ran the needle across his ribs. Ah, dot 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 damn. This one hurts like hell. He squirmed in his seat, wincing. I just think you are being dramatic. No, the ribs just hurt the most. You trying to kill me or something? If I wanted to kill you, you'd already be dead. He said something else after that about how he could handle a little pain. If it meant he got her attention longer or whatever crap, and she laughed again. Didn't even shut him down. That's what was making me fume the most. .yn wasn't like that. Usually the moment someone tried to flirt with her, she'd shut it down cold. I'd seen her nearly stab a guy once with a needle. No lie. Dude had his hand too close, saying something slick. She didn't even blink before threatening to poke his eye out. He ran out like his ass was on fire. My jaw clenched tight as hell. The more I watched, the more my hands itched. I swear to God, I could see it now, me standing up, grabbing Ricky by the back of his neck, slamming his head into the wall just once. Maybe twice, enough to make a point. I don't even know when it happened. The jealousy thing, it wasn't like I didn't know other guys checked her out, and wasn't blind to it either. She always rolled her eyes when people looked her way too long, but this was different, because it wasn't just some stranger on the street. It was Ricky, my competitor, someone I already couldn't stand. And now he was sitting there with her, talking in that voice like he had a chance. God, I leaned forward, elbows on my knees, phone forgotten in my hand now. What's the most painful tattoo you've ever given someone? He asked. She tilted her head, brushing a damp strand of hair off her forehead with her shoulder. Probably this guy who wanted a full neck piece and flinched every 2 seconds like I was torturing him. Ricky laughed. Did you finish it? Nope. He passed out halfway. I had to feed him juice like a toddler. And what about you? You have tattoos in places that hurt? She hummed. Maybe I do. You would never know. My jaw locked. I knew that tone. That teasing little lift in her voice when she was enjoying herself. Ricky groaned. So you're saying I'll never get to see them? Exactly. She sang as she adjusted her stool. I nearly stood up. What the hell? Why the hell she was enjoying it. She leaned back, exhaling as she wiped down Ricky's ribs with a damp cloth. All right, we're about halfway through. You want to take a break? This is quite a lot of work. We'll need to finish it in a second session. Ricky tilted his head, gazing down at the line stretching over his ribs. Double quotes. Yeah, sure. Looks amazing so far. Then he sat up slowly, muscles flexing as he moved. He dragged his shirt from the chair behind him and glanced up. When do you want me to come back? You can ask Myra outside, she replied, pulling her gloves off with a snap. She set the next session up for you. Okay. Ricky muttered with a smile, turning slightly toward the tall mirror in the corner. He looked at his tattoo like he was admiring himself more than the actual ink. Then his gaze flicked over straight to me. You think it looks good, Jungkook? He asked casually, already lifting his shirt down over his abs. Not bad, right? I looked at him once. Not really. You managed to make everything look like shit. This one's no exception. He chuckled under his breath, shaking his head. Man, I'll never get it. Why do you hate me so much? I stood up, then every muscle in my body was tight. You want me to refresh your little memory? Where should I start? Ricky raised a brow. Be my guest. JK. Okay. Let's start with the time you unbolted the front wheel of my bike before that track meet. Remember that? Could have broken my neck. Ricky. Oh, please. JK. Then the time you slashed my tires because you were pissed. I beat you. And don't forget the genius moment when you lied to all the people around me, spreading rumors when I was new. You've been pulling crap like that for years. Chasing behind the girl I'm with, showing up where you're not wanted, stirring shit up just for fun. Flirt with people who clearly aren't interested in you. She didn't look uninterested today, Ricky said. You jealous, Chun? Not my fault girls like me more. You're acting pissy because she gave me the kind of attention you've been whoring for since forever. You want to say that again? I growled, stepping right into his face again. Ricky stumbled back a step. Of course. The golden boy gets territorial. Double quotes enough. Her voice cut both of them off. She was walking over now. Her expression was stone cold. Take your jacket, she said, flatly pushing the jacket on Ricky's chest. You're done here. And her hand didn't move. Now. He took it slowly, eyes flicking between me and her, like he was waiting for the mood to shift. Still trying to salvage his ego, he leaned in as if to kiss her cheek. And that was it. I lost all my patience. My hand slammed into his shoulder, yanking him back before he could touch her. And then I threw the first punch. Stay the fuck away from her. I shouted, you hear me? Keep your filthy mouth and hands away from her. She's fucking mine. Blood burst from his lip as he stumbled back, but of course he wasn't the type to back down. He wiped his mouth, growled, and came right at me. Next punch was his caught my jaw hard. My head snapped to the side, but I grabbed his shirt and pulled him down, slamming him against the edge of the table. We were throwing punches, fists colliding with flesh, feet sliding against the floor. You think you're better than me? Ricky yelled, landing a hit to my stomach. You always thought that. I am better than you, I spat, dodging and shoving him against the wall. In every way. Before I could land another punch, a glass broke right above our head. Get the fuck off each other. Both of us froze. She stood a few feet away, eyes blazing, fists clenched at her sides. This is not your damn playground, she snapped. You want to kill each other, take it outside. I'm not dealing with this shit in my space. The fury in her voice hit harder than any punch. Her eyes weren't soft. She looked done. I let go of Ricky's collar and shoved him off me. He stumbled, spitting blood on the floor. He didn't even say anything, just walked toward the door. The bell above it jingled weakly as it swung open, then shut. I stayed where I was, breathing hard, blood dripping from the corner of my mouth. She wasn't looking at me. She wasn't looking at anything, just cleaning up the mess. I said, wiping the blood from the slit of my lips. Look, just leave, she cut in flat without even glancing at me. What? I said, leave, Jungkook. You too, double quotes, I blinked, feeling my temper spark all over again. What is wrong with you right now? She didn't answer, and that silence, That silence felt worse than any punch Ricky had landed earlier. No. Tell me what's your problem. You've been acting different for weeks. Like I'm not even your best friend anymore. She kept her eyes on the floor, trying to pull away from his hold. It's nothing. Bullshit, I snapped back, fingers tightening slightly. Is it something going on I don't know about? Is it your father again? Did he come by? Tell me what's wrong. She yanked her shoulder back, but I didn't budge. I said it's nothing, she hissed through gritted teeth. I just stared down at her harder now, searching her face, trying to figure out some puzzle. My whole head felt like it was spinning, like the last few weeks had all caught up in this one moment. Is it him? Her head jerked a little at the sudden shift in his voice. Ricky? Is that it? You want him now? Jungkook. Of all the people in the world? Him? And he's my fucking rival? He's not tried to screw me over every chance he got? She shook her head, trying to pull away from my hold, but I didn't let go. You're not seriously falling for that, are you? Or is he just better than me? Huh? Is that what this is? You don't know what you're saying. Jungkook, just leave. I was too far gone now, anger boiling over every inch of my skin. I'm saying you're laughing at his jokes, letting him flirt with you, wearing his damn jacket, letting him hold you. What next in? Are you gonna warm his bed too? Is that all it takes? Someone to show you a bit of attention? Her both palm hit my chest hard as she shoved me back, breathing, heavy eyes glistening with anger. What the fuck did you just say to me? I stumbled back. The moment those left his mouth, I regretted them. Get off me, Chun, she said through her teeth. I don't give a fuck what you think about me or who you think I want. You don't get to speak to me like that. My heart dropped and my anger fell with it. And shit, I didn't mean. No, she snapped. Don't say a word right now. And I didn't mean it. That what did you mean? She yelled, stepping back. You said he's just your rival, but this isn't about him, is it? This is about me because I dared to smile while working with him. That's all it took, Jungkook. One smile. I was jealous. She laughed bitterly, shaking her head like she couldn't believe what she was hearing. Jealous? Is that your excuse? So because you're jealous, you get to accuse me of sleeping around? That I'm easy? That I'm throwing myself at someone else just because I didn't push them away fast enough for your liking? My lips parted, but nothing came out. What had I done? You think you won me or something, Jungkook? Like I'm some trophy that belongs in your hands now, just because we kissed? Just because I let you in? Now you're all pretending like I'm your fucking property? I didn't mean it like that. I tried to reach for her, but she stepped back. Her eyes flashed. No, don't touch me. Don't you dare touch me right now, double quotes, YN. Please, I swear. Get out. My head jerked up. What? I said get the fuck out of my shop. You're serious right now? Do I look like I'm joking? I stepped closer and she took a step back. Out. Make sure I don't see your face again. I looked at her for a moment, searching her face for anything, but she was done. I didn't say another word, just walked out of the shop guilt-wrapped. Around me from every corner of my body, I fucked up big time. 3 weeks, 5 days. That's how long it's been since she looked me in the eyes. Not that I blame her. I keep counting the days like some obsessed loser, like clocking the seconds will somehow bring her back faster. Like punishing myself is gonna fix the mess I made. But nothing's changed. Nothing's gotten better. She meant it. When she said she didn't want to see my face, she really meant it. She hasn't spoken to me, not once, not a single message. Not even a fucking cuss word. And I deserve it. God, I deserve it. Because what kind of person says that to someone they care about? What kind of man throws fire when all she ever did was warm up the coldest parts of him? I didn't mean it. I swear to every god out there. God, I feel fucking sick just thinking about it. It wasn't about Ricky, it was about me, my fear, my jealousy, my inability to control the storm inside me when it comes to her. Because I've always known she wasn't mine, not by anything, not by name or label, but my heart. She had it from the start. Every moment we shared, I was falling harder, but I never told her. Never said the words, and now I might never get ... I wasn't supposed to feel that way. She was my best friend, my safe place, the one who knew all my messed ups and never ran away ... The one I promised I wouldn't hurt, but I kissed her anyway. That night, I risked our friendship because it was getting hard to hide all the dot feelings inside me. Few kisses won't ruin our friendship. That was the lamest excuse I ever came up with just so I could have her all by himself. And she kissed me back. It didn't feel like fireworks or lightning or any of that poetic bullshit. No, it felt like a breath after drowning. Like she'd been mine in every possible way except that one. Until then, and after that, I couldn't stop. Every time I held her, it was like my body remembered. Like I was addicted to the weight of her head on my shoulder. Her hand wrapped Dot in mine, her laugh in my ear. She made every loud part of me go quiet. But the thing is, she started Dot acting different. Not just once or twice. She'd go quiet when I walked in. She'd avoid Dot eye contact, keep conversations short, brush me off when I tried to talk. Dot at first I didn't pay much attention. Told myself maybe she was stressed, maybe she was tired. Maybe I was overthinking like I always do. But then I saw her wearing his jacket, saw her smiling, the smile she didn't give me in weeks. And it burned so deep. I felt it crawl Dot through my skin. It's been 3 weeks and 5 days, and every damn day I regret it more. I call her, message her, just so she could change her mind and maybe reply, but every time it went unanswered. I rode past her shop a few times like some desperate loser, hoping I'd catch a glimpse of her. Hoping she'd yell at me again so I could take it, so I could say sorry properly, but she didn't show. I destroyed the one place I ever felt safe, and it wasn't just about what I said. It was the history behind it, because when she asked me once back when we were 19 what kind of life I wanted to live, I remember telling her anything but this one, and she got it because back then I had nothing. No family worth a damn, no money, no place to go. I have bloodied knuckles and a dot bag of stolen bike parts I traded for a mattress in a moldy apartment. Underground races were my only source of income. And I didn't give a shit if I lived or died. Then she came along full of scars and eyes that saw through every layer of bullshit I wore. We were both fucked up, but somehow, together we started to breathe. She became the only person I trusted. The only one I could call at 3 a.m. and know she'd answer. And yeah, when I first got out of that hellhole of a house and tasted freedom, I slept around, thought maybe that was power. Thought maybe that's what healing felt like, but I stopped. Not because someone told me or not because I got bored, but that nothing feels right anymore. Because the only person I wanted to hold didn't even know she had me already. I didn't want anyone else, not when every part of me started. Looking for her without meaning to. She became the best part of my day, and I threw it all away. Because of my jealousy, my pride, my goddamn temper that always ruins everything good in my life. I told her once that I'd never become like my father. That I'd never turn into the man who used fists when he didn't have the words. But that day in her shop, I was just like him. Ugly, angry, loud, and hurt, the only person I swore I'd protect. She looked at me like I wasn't Jungkook anymore. Like I was just another guy who thought he had a right to her. She looked disappointed in me. Like she couldn't believe he was out of all the person was saying 𝙗ⁱ to her. And it rings in his head all the time. Because even though those words left my mouth, I do never mean them. And now I don't know. I don't know if she'll ever let me back in, but if she ever does, I'll never let her go again, not as a friend or something temporary, but as mine, not because I own her, but because loving her is the only thing I've ever done right. The road blurred under my tires, the roar of engines filling the night air, but I wasn't really feeling it. Usually, the rush of a race made my blood pound and my grip tighten with excitement. Tonight, it just felt empty. I twisted the throttle harder, forcing myself to push faster. If I couldn't feel anything, maybe speed would make up for it. Maybe flying down these roads would at least drown out the thoughts, but it didn't. I passed two riders, slipping between them like water. I knew these roads like the back of my hand, but tonight they felt unfamiliar. A loud wailing sound ripped through the air. Sirens, blue and red lights, flashed somewhere behind us. Shit. Someone yelled behind me. I didn't have to think about it. I knew exactly what that meant. Underground racing wasn't a game you could get caught in unless you wanted to spend the night in a cell or worse. The streets were narrow here, the turns unpredictable, but my instinct kicked in. I twisted the throttle hard, the bike leaping forward beneath me. Wind whipped past my helmet, the sirens growing fainter behind me, but I could still hear them. The screech of tires from the riders splitting off in different directions. I didn't look back and nor slowed down because both of it will make you get caught. I weaved between abandoned cars on the side of the road, my tires gripping hard, my chest tight with the need to just get away. A bend came out of nowhere. I tried to correct, leaning hard into the turn, but the back tires skidded for a fraction of a second. The ground seemed to tilt under me. Before I could steady the bike, it jolted off the edge of the road. The slope was steeper, my bike flew forward, hitting uneven dirt, and I felt my body being pulled with it. The weight of the bike tearing away from me as I rolled down, my shoulder hitting the ground first, then my hip, then my back. Dirt and leaves scraped against my helmet, my limb. When I finally stopped, the only sound I heard was my own breathing. The bike had landed farther ahead, and I just lay there staring at the sky. The stars above looked still. I ground my hand, finding the ground fingers, clawing for something steady. My head throbbed. I could feel warm blood trickling from my nose, maybe my mouth too. Slowly, I sat up with the help of a tree. Pressing my back to its rough trunk, I exhaled shakily. My arms were trembling, and every inch of me felt bruised. I reached up and pulled off my helmet. My hair was damp with sweat, sticking to my forehead. I wiped my face, and my hand came back smeared with blood. Fuck, I muttered, spitting iron from my mouth. The sirens were distant now. They weren't chasing this way anymore. Maybe this was finally it. Maybe I lost this too. The bike, the girl, all of it. And as I sat there, cold, bleeding, and breathless, the only thing I could think was -- how the hell did it all fall apart so fast? NPOV: He's lucky. The doctor voice sounded calm as he spoke, scanning the chart in his hand before looking at me. From what the paramedics told me, he was thrown off the bike, but somehow his head didn't take the full impact. His helmet absorbed most of it. There's some bruising on the side, but no internal bleeding. I swallowed, glancing past into the bed where Jungkook was laying pale against the white sheets. A bruise blossoming along his jaw, and a thin cut marked his temple and multiple of them on his cheek. He looked almost peaceful like this. If you didn't know he was unconscious for hours. We did a full scan. No fractures, no major injuries, just mild concussion symptoms. He'll have a headache, some dizziness, maybe a bit of nausea when he wakes. His muscles will be sore, but that's expected. He's a strong one. I nodded, because what else could I do? He should wake in the next few hours. Try not to startle him. Let him get his bearings. I'll come back to check on him later. Okay, I managed. When the doctor left, the room felt too big and too quiet. The rhythmic beeping of the monitor was the only sound, but somehow too loud. I pulled the chair closer to the bed and sat down, the legs scraping softly against the floor. I needed something to do. Anything but just sit there and stare at him, counting every rise and fall of his chest. I grab a random book I saw on the table and start reading it, not that I was interested in it. Just wanted to do something that would occupy my mind. And hour passed or two, I start to doze off on the chair. That's when I heard a soft, low groan. My eyes snapped open. His brows were pulling together, his lips parting like he was fighting his way back to the surface of consciousness. I stood immediately the chair, scraping again, my heart hammering in my chest. His eyelids fluttered once, twice, and then his gaze landed on me. He closed his eyes, then opened them again. YN. His voice was hoarse, the syllables rough around the edges. Yeah, double quotes. His eyes widened slightly, like he still didn't believe it. Is that really you? A faint laugh escaped me, a mix of relief and nerves. Yeah, it's me. He tried to push himself up, only to wince and sink back slightly. Ah, my head. Stop moving, I said, quickly placing a hand on his shoulder. You're not supposed to sit up yet. He grimaced, just help me sit a little, please. I hesitated, then slid a pillow behind his back and gently helped him up until he was propped against it. He exhaled slowly, his eyes slipping shut for a moment before looking at me again. How are you feeling? I asked. Any pain anywhere? He made a face, heads pounding. Feels like I went 10 rounds with a brick wall. My shoulders are killing me. And my ribs, he tapped the side lightly. I think they are broken. Nothing is broken. You are perfectly fine. Is that disappointment I hear in your voice? I rolled my eyes. No, your head making things up, I said, slapping his head, and he groaned loudly. I bit my tongue, instantly caressing his head. I'm sorry, I forgot. If that wound didn't kill me, you will baby. He said. My smile dropped, and I looked away. His expression was enough to tell me it was not intentional. Let me call the doctor, I said, breaking in the awkward silence. But my words cut short when his hand shot out, fingers curling loosely around my wrist. His grip wasn't strong, but it was enough to stop me. No, wait, just stay here. Double quote, Jungkook dash double quotes, just. His eyes held mine, almost vulnerable. Feels like if I let you go, you'll disappear again. The quiet weight of those words pressed down on my chest. He swallowed as I pulled my hand back. He winced a little because of the sudden motion of his hand. How are you here? I pulled in a breath. You saved my number as your emergency contact. His lips parted slightly at that. Then he licked them, dry and cracked. I noticed and frowned. You need water. Yeah, he murmured, almost sheepish. I reached for the glass on the table, but before I could hand it to him, I can't drink on my own. My brows rose. You can't? He tilted his head as if to say, look at me, and okay. He really did look like lifting the glass would be a struggle. I sighed, sliding onto the edge of the bed and holding the glass near his lips. Small sips. He obeyed, drinking slowly, his gaze never leaving mine as I tipped, the glass just enough for the water to reach his mouth. When he pulled back, I set it down and wiped the corner of his lip with my thumb before I could think twice. He watched me quietly, something unreadable in his eyes. After a moment, he cleared his throat, his voice low and a bit rough. When can I get discharged? Maybe tomorrow, I adjusting the blanket over him. You're lucky, you know. They said it could have been worse. His lips twitched in something that wasn't quite a smile. Yeah, lucky. I sat back in the chair. What were you even thinking? Speeding like that. You've been racing for years. You've never crashed like this. His gaze drifted to the ceiling for a second before he looked back at me. Cops. My brows drew together. Cops? Cops were on us. I didn't exactly have the option to take it slow. Double quotes. I let out a long sigh, rubbing my forehead. God, how do you end up in this kind of mess? For as long as I've known you, you've been the best out there. You don't just lose control. He hesitated. I couldn't quite focus on the road. My eyes narrowed. Why? He looked right at me, This time his voice was softer. Couldn't stop thinking about you. I froze, staring at him. The words hung between us like delicate all at once. I closed my eyes, exhaling slowly before opening them again. Jungkook, in, please. His tone was insistent now, almost pleading. I shook my head and cut him off. Let's not talk about that right now, okay? You need to recover first. His jaw flexed, a hint of frustration flickering in his eyes. And then what? You'll disappear again? I won't. You've said that before, double quotes. I leaned forward. I mean it this time. I'm here. His eyes searched mine like he was trying to see if I was telling the truth, or just saying it to make him rest. Promise? Promise, I said quietly. Hinky one? Shut up, Jungkook. We are not two anymore. He just stared at me, then finally sank back into the pillow, eyes closing. You should have been a louder. I smiled faintly. Why? You're too good at convincing me to shut up, double quotes. I chuckled under my breath. Sleep? He hummed in acknowledgement, the sound tired, and within a few minutes, his breathing evened out. But even as I sat there in the quiet room, I could still hear his voice from earlier, soft in my head. Couldn't stop thinking about you?